Good evening. Today is Monday, September 15th, 2025. At 7 p.m. I'd like to call the regular meeting for the Board of Selectmen to order.
Linda Grappo.
Troy Lemire.
Paul Marino.
Paul Harrington.
Todd Archelashi.
Glenn Albanesius.
William Hester.
Candy Perez.
William Pozo.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to item number 3, agenda review.
Mr. Mayor and Board, I do have 2 items to add. Happy to report that EDC is here tonight, most of its members, along with Albert, and they would like to premiere the EDC video with all of you tonight, would be one ad. And then also a offer came in over this weekend. I know we are going into an executive session. Leave it completely up to the board, but it did come in on Saturday midday-ish on 48 Bridge Street. It's not listed. I know we do have 52 White Street and 19 Hill Street listed. I did not list it on the agenda at the time of publication because I didn't have the offer, but it did come in on Saturday. So up to the board. Hopefully the EDC one's a no-brainer, but Bridge Street, I'll leave it to the board.
So moved on both.
Okay, we'll move the EDC video to between number 4 and number 5. And adding 48 Bridge Street discussion to number 13, executive session.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 4, the approval of the minutes of our regular meeting on September 2nd.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any discussion, corrections, additions? Seeing none, all in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Moving on to the EDC video. Paul?
I am going to bring up Mr. Dennis Dressel and let him bring up whoever else he wishes to bring. He has a short little speech he wants to make, and be ready to be wild.
Dennis just hit the
Dennis, just
red
hit
button.
the red microphone button.
Nope.
Nope, the
The
one
little
on the sides.
microphone
Anyone that's
With the
blinking?
microphone.
There you go.
Okay.
Thank you for having us here tonight. I'm Dennis Dressel, as you all know. This is Alan Colavecchio and Albert Petrunti. And we've been working on this video for a couple of months now. And Alan is kind of like the 10,000 foot level guy. He offers advice to who to interview and what topics to cover. And Albert did he did the videos, he and his team did the videos and interviews and shot all the stuff you're going to see here. But a little backstory first. A couple of years ago, I walked into Park Place Hardware, and I had never been there before. All the years I lived in there, and it kind of walked into what I thought was a sleepy little hardware store. And boy, was I mistaken. I met Albert, and he was running 3 businesses out of there. He's running Park Place Hardware, you and your father run it, and a drone company, which I think you've all seen, and Awcast, which makes videos. And I kind of tucked that in the back of my mind because we've always struggled with getting the message of our town out there to people. We talked about brochures and different kind of social media. We do Facebook, and so I kind of took that in my mind. So we came to last May, this May of '25, and we had about $4,000 left in our budget, and it was either spend it or lose it and give it back to the town. So I went to see Albert, and I said, "What do you think about doing a promotional video to attract businesses to the town?" And he says, "Well, they cost upward of $15,000." He said, "But he agreed to do it at a discount because he's really committed to this town. He's got 3 businesses here, he's born and raised here, and that's about it. I mean, you want to roll the video? Do you have anything to add?
No, I was just gonna say, the next phase with this is doing a media plan to make sure that it's seen by people. This is geared to businesses, and it's gonna be very clear. Because some people say, why don't you have this in it, why don't you have this in it? It's not about the entire town lifestyle. It's really geared, and hear the message, to invite businesses to look at us. Maybe down the road, we'll do one, as people come here, move here, families and whatnot, but this is really geared to business.
Albert has agreed to assist us with the digital, with the electronic marketing. So we have a bang-up video, but it doesn't do us any good unless we get it in front of people who come.
Lights on or off?
Ready to roll?
Let's dim.
You need-
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Green. We'll dim 2 of the lights. It's gonna get a little dark in here, but give the video. It's perfect. Yeah, I think that's good.
How are you gonna see it, Glenn?
Oh, wow. Movie theater.
Did you bring the popcorn?
I did not.
Not even the candy.
The town of Winchester and the city of Winstead is the place for business. Why Winchester? Because Winchester is right now.
Hi, I'm Paul Harrington, Town Manager of Winchester. I welcome all businesses to come in so we can see what success we can build together.
This is a town in motion, where fresh ideas meet a community ready to support them and help them flourish. Winchester is located in the Litchfield Hills of Northwest Connecticut, at the intersection of State Routes 8 and 44, and is a hub for commerce in the region. It's a growing local market that's hungry for new opportunities.
The one special thing about Winstead is when you go out to lunch, you actually meet the owner of the soup and sandwich shop. When you go out to go bowling or even axe throwing, the owner is there, and so you get to be a part of something.
I know everyone in this area is kind of thinking along those same lines, like, it's such a great town, there's so many people coming through here every day, the people who are already here are amazing, just that desire to build something really incredible here.
I'm very happy with the changes I've seen with the town hall and the town government. Winstead now is officially open for business. Their arms are wide open, and I would love to get more neighbors and really make this a vibrant town that I know it can be.
We find there's a really strong community of people that are passionate about supporting local. We made this decision to come here to pour our hearts, to pour our time into this business, and Rooted is here to stay. We're rooted in Winstead, we're rooted here in this special community.
And it's not always the case in all communities, whereas what you put in is what you get back. So we feel like we've definitely had that, and we feel very fortunate for that fact. So Winstead has been a great place to own business, and we love it here. If you're looking for a place where you're just not a taxpayer, but part of a thriving community, I urge you to come in and see everything that Winchester has to offer. The town of Winchester, city of Winstead, make it easy for you to open a business, relocate a business, or simply expand your business. We invite you to come in and see everything we have to offer.
Here, you're part of a network of driven entrepreneurs, engaged residents, and a town government committed to making business success as simple as possible. With affordable commercial space, untapped markets, and a healthy influx of new residents, Winchester opens the door to start strong and grow fast, and offers an extraordinary number of amenities for a smaller town. From walkable main streets to planned development projects, every corner is brimming with potential.
We have a phenomenal economic development team. We have a phenomenal town management structure. And all of them together have been absolutely incredible at welcoming new business, welcoming incoming moving businesses into town, helping people start businesses, and helping people get exposure in town. And that has been absolutely invaluable.
I think it's definitely growing. There's been a lot of activity and more involvement from the town to broaden and encourage more business development, especially with a lot of the established businesses in Winstead. So there's been a concerted effort, which has been great to see. There's a lot of opportunities, I think, for current businesses and for new businesses to come in and to really thrive and grow.
We are here to stay. Winstead has been a great partner to us. We want to be a partner back to them. We have community outreach from our team. investments have just solidified, the fact that we're going to be here for a long time. And the relationship between Winstead and Hubble is just continuing to grow. We believe that the investments really set us up for long-term success, and we expect to be here well into the future.
That's a commitment to this town and where they believe it can go. We think we're helping that story by bringing in Marshalls, and we know that the rest of the market will follow. We know that they'll be successful, and the future tenants will be successful.
And by choosing Winstead, they were able to check the box on all of those things that they look for. Strong families, strong family income, strong housing values, a vibrant community. These are the things that attract Marshalls to any location, and to Winstead in particular.
With all the foot traffic and vehicles that drive by here on a daily basis, so you get a lot of visibility. We really like the market, and the town is great, and there's only good things happening here, and there's a lot of buzz surrounding it too, and the town is really excited about having Marshalls in town, and I think the residents are as well.
This is a town full of potential. It is a very quintessential New England town in many ways. It's going to be Winstead's turn, and let's put our roots down so that we can help be part of that.
The town of Winchester, city of Winstead, is here and ready to serve you. We're going to help you from the very beginning to the end when we're all out there cutting the ribbon with you. We ask you, come on in and check us out.
The energy is here. The support is here. So why Winchester? Because it's a great place to do business and a great town to call home. This is the moment. This is the place. And your business belongs right here, right now. Winchester and Winstead. One win-win community.
Well done, gentlemen. Well done.
Questions, comments?
Anyone on the board have questions or comments?
Where are you putting it out?
When?
Where? Well, that's what we're gonna decide. It'll be on the website, on the town's website, obviously be on Facebook, and we're gonna Albert's gonna assist us in putting together a electronic marketing campaign. Doesn't do us any good if we don't get in front of people who come.
A few things on that, Dennis, if I may. One thing is, did we announce yet the October 8th date?
Yes. You're all invited, October 8th, it's a Wednesday night over at the brewery at 5 o'clock, Little Red Barn. We're gonna have a premiere. We invite the business people in town.
Red carpet event, no, I'm kidding, no. But October 8th, I know obviously tonight, but we obviously wanted the board to see it, and then we're gonna take it on the road, and on October 8th, we're gonna allow the public to view it, little mini premiere party, some excitement, some buzz about it. Just earlier today, to just throw some spaghetti on those, talking with Selectman Perez, there's local papers that have gone to the digital version of it, and you can buy little ad spaces where this video will play. Now, granted, it'll not show, but then anyone that's going on one of these local papers can click on it. So I plan on sitting with everybody and coming up with the marketing strategy behind it. From the sounds of what this board is saying is they like the video, so we didn't want to put a bunch of marketing behind it if this board absolutely didn't like the video, but it sounds like the board liked the video. So we're going to start pushing this out as of October 9th. We want our residents to see it first, my business owners, and then beginning of October we're going with gangbusters to get this video out. I think it's just another tool in our box to entice businesses to either expand, come here, or grow. I couldn't be more proud of EDC and Albert, the work you did. Thank you. It was great. I saw the rough cuts. Obviously, I got interviewed, and it took us 3 days to just do that. No, I'm kidding. We got it done. But it was exciting. It's exciting to talk to people that are in the video, and they're hyped up about it. So thank you.
Alan Colavecchio designed our unofficial logo at the end of the video. It's one win-win community, and we had a bunch of magnetic bumper stickers made up. So maybe you guys want some?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I have more if you need to.
I like the win-win.
Yes.
People are always confused what to call it.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Put it together.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So, Mr. Town Manager, can we put this on, like, when you click on our, website for the town of Winchester, could that be something that pops up right away?
Yes, it can, yes.
I think that's a really good advertising tool for
Yep.
people who move it to the community.
Yes, we will have it right on the
Thank
homepage,
you,
right on the
gentlemen.
splash, it'll play. One of the things that I suggest is that it'll play, but not necessarily come on with sound, based on, somebody maybe,
Well,
maybe in the
they'll
room
look
or
at
something
it.
like that. You have another volume setting, but yes, all things that we want. We want this video used, obviously, it was less expensive, because Albert did it first, but it was expensive. So we want to make sure we get every dollar worth of this video as much as we can. So it's going on the website, it's going on obviously our social media channels. And then in fact, me and I thought I saw Dewey here, we're gonna start the road show, middle of October, middle of September. We're gonna start hitting some of the businesses, and I plan on bringing a laptop and showing the businesses this video, that, the final copy of it, or, possibly, hey, there could be video number 2 coming down the pipeline. So,
Yes, they keep
so we're
it
gonna use
going.
this as much as we can.
Maybe you can put that picture here on the website, so when the website opens, that you don't have a scrolling piece, that you just have this, because this is really nice.
Yep.
I mean, that's really,
Yeah, people are always confused about Winchester and
well, like if
Winston.
you put it right here,
Yeah.
and it pops up, it's just the part that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah, and
You could also
I'll
make
add
it
one
one
thing
of
to
the
it,
slides
know that all
that
these
scrolls.
interviews were each probably on average of 20 minutes long. And as you see here, we used maybe 15 to 30 seconds of them. So we were, in my team, talking about maybe doing a separate piece with each full interview, because a lot of great things were said here that we just took the highlights, the stuff into this video. So there's, in the footage, et cetera, there's a lot more material behind all this.
Not the B-roll, you're not gonna show my B-roll to anybody, right?
Oh, I'm gonna.
We want to see.
Let's go up to the highest bidder.
We had fun that afternoon.
Thank you.
Great job.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Great
and
job.
As well as the rest of the EDC committee, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks for the power.
Not a problem.
All right, moving on to item number 5, citizens' comments. The Board of Selectmen welcomes public comments. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes or less and may speak once. Please give your name and address. The microphone is already on, so if anyone would like to speak, come on up.
Good evening. My name is John Pollock, and I live at 502 East Wakefield Boulevard, Winston, Connecticut. And I'm here just as a citizen, and I'd like to thank the mayor, Mayor Todd, and the town manager, Mr. Harrington, the Board of Selectmen, and the Board of Select Women. I don't know if you're aware of it, but on August 26th, at the zoning board meeting, there was an inappropriate transaction that took place before the meeting started at 7 p.m. I informed the mayor, the town manager, and the ZBA chair about the matter that needs to be addressed. I am not accusing anyone as to what happened, but I'm noting that it was a very, very poor reflection on the town's zoning board. The town has had major problems before, and we do not need to go down the same path again by turning a blind eye. We need some kind of explanation for the Winston town citizens. I was on the zoning board for 13 years, and this never happened. If there's any questions, please look at the video, and the video is the zoning board meeting dated August 26, 2025, just before the meeting starts. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Pollock. Anyone else wish to speak? last chance. Anyone else? Moving on to item number 6, town manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, board. Let's begin with the Bridge Street intersection informational session that occurred last Thursday night. To put it mildly, it was very spirited. Residents came out and they voiced their true opinion of what they thought of the Bridge Street redesigned intersection. I met prior to that meeting with our team. We obviously regrouped again the following day. You've probably already noticed that the cones have been removed. They were picked up immediately. And then to further, we will be painting by the end of this week black paint over the white lines. And then eventually we'll be going in there when we have time and actually using a pressure washer to make sure the white paint completely goes away. What we're saying is we're going to go back, we're going to regroup, we're going to get with VHB, who originally designed that intersection. I'll note that, as stated in that public informational session, that was the best of the worst plans that they had presented. A few of the other plans included some roundabouts, some purchasing of private property, which gets pretty costly. I think the meeting, again, although it was spirited, some great ideas surfaced from that particular meeting about what our residents thought we should do. So we're going to bring some of those ideas back to our engineers and see if some of those ideas we can actually put forward. I do want to make clear again that the $829,000 plus the $100,000 the town was given to originally study that intersection is funded through the state of Connecticut. Not $1 of taxpayer, Winstead taxpayer money was used for any of the work that was done up there, any of the studies or any of the design work. So we appreciated the community coming out and voicing their opinion. And you can see that, you know, myself and this board, who said we should do a public informational session, wanted to hear from all of you. And the reason why we had to do what we did was, and I stated this in the meeting, was I originally put out the plan. And it was a blueprint, and we got no comments. We put it on social media channels, we put it out on our town's website, and nobody said anything. A couple months go by, we do it again. Nobody says anything. So, and we knew internally that this was a drastic change. So we came up with the plan of, well, I guess we gotta paint it and show people exactly what, and then the comments came out, which truthfully worked. Because if we just went with the plan and said, well, nobody said anything, but it actually took us going out, painting those lines, you know, showing people what, you know, it was gonna look like. Ultimately came out, and we're making a change. So look for that in the future. It's going to take a little bit of time to, you know, work this all through, come up with the ideas that were brought up during the meeting. But the Bridge Street intersection, happy to report that it is going to go back to the old way. Bridge Street all the way will be two ways, so up and down. We obviously have to deal with the leaking issue up there as well, but we'll get there. So I appreciate everybody that came out. I also appreciate the emails that came in after the meeting for people saying good job, but I'll let you all know it's not my first hard meeting I've sat through. Probably won't be my last, so I got thick skin and I don't take any of it personally. People were just very passionate about their neighborhood. They came out and spoke about it. Moving on, Safe Streets for All Committee. We're continuing to assemble the Safe Streets for All Committee and still looking for volunteers. This group will be crucial in helping shape Winstead's comprehensive safety action plan, which is funded by the U.S. Department of Transportation SS4A program. There's more information on the committee's scope and responsibility on the town's website. We did add a little section on the town's website for Safe Streets for All, trying to engage some more of our residents to come out and maybe volunteer for that. Our first meeting, we're looking to have the first one sometime in October. We'll finalize the date soon, but if you're interested, check out the town's website, Safe Street for All. If you think you could lend a helping hand, we'd love to have you. Sue Grossman Shovel Ready Committee, I'll say it, and I'll say it 1,000 times. Man, that committee comes to work. But a little update, the Sue Grossman Greenway Committee met recently with the property owners along Raleigh Street who are directly affected by the next project segment. The meeting was productive and gave the committee valuable input as the project advances. The request for qualifications for engineering services for segment 3 and segment 4 is open and on the town's website with a closing date of October 2nd. Town-owned vehicles and equipment auction. The auction of surplus town vehicles and equipment remains open. Written bids will be accepted until 10 a.m. on Thursday, September 18th. A complete list is obviously available on our town's website. It's under bids and RFPs. It's one of the little hot buttons off to the right side of the screen. 25 fiscal audit, our annual audit for 24-25 is underway. Finance department, as they always do, has been working hard closing out fiscal year 25. You'll see obviously some transfers tonight and prepping all necessary materials. September and October are always busy months as we work through audit season, and staff are focusing on making sure all the records and reporting are in order for our auditors. Social media, quick little shout out to a resident, Holly Atkinson, for stepping up. If you remember, she was at one of our Board of Selectmen meetings a few months ago. She rose her hand and she said she wanted to volunteer with a little bit of the Everbridge and helping social media. If you know me, you know I'll take any meeting. She came in, we reviewed all of our social media channels from LinkedIn to Instagram to everything, and she did a deep dive, and we were following things that didn't necessarily pertain to the town. She took it and a lot of time, and she's now, the page is now following things that have likeness to us. You know, for example, you know, our congressional offices out in Washington, our Senate and our congressional districts, all of the businesses that are here in Winstead, we are now following. And I'm sure if you own a business, you may have even seen that, hey, the town of Winchester is now following you. Well, it is. So Holly came with an unbelievable price to do all of this work. It was volunteerism. So I just wanted to take a second and really thank Holly for tremendously. And she's not done. We have another meeting scheduled in a few weeks, but she's helped me look at things a little bit differently on our social media channels. And it's just a better way of us engaging with our community, just another avenue. So I wanted to take a quick second on that. Personnel update, I apologize, and this should have been mentioned 2 meetings ago. Our building inspector, Keith, actually passed his state certification to be a building inspector. I told you all a while ago that this man is an unbelievable test taker. He challenged all of the exams, did not sit for any of the classes, and basically aced all of the exams. Now he's certified building inspector, works here in the town, and I'll note he has no intention of leaving this town. He absolutely loves it. He lives here, and we're happy to have Keith on board. On the contract negotiations, both the supervisors union and the clerical union we're getting there, but both sides felt that it would be best bet to bring in a mediator, so we're off to mediation. Which isn't a bad thing. We just have a couple little hurdles to get over, and we think a mediator, both sides think a mediator will be able to get this across the finish line. And last but not least, I dubbed this Roads, Roads, and Roads. We did post some items up on our Facebook page and on our town's website. Chip sealing will begin tomorrow on Suckerbrook Road, Platt Hill Road, Laurel Way, South Road, Taylor Brook Road. We are asking no on-street parking. We will begin this project as early as 6 a.m. in the morning and will end by 5 p.m. And we hope to have this all done by Friday. The weather this week looks absolutely gorgeous. So again, I'll repeat: Suckerbrook, Platt Hill, Laurel Way, South Road, Taylor Brook. Chip sealing begins tomorrow as early as 6 a.m. On a different note, Holland Beach and Wakefield Boulevard, right by the whole beach area, Price Road, Spring Street, Wani Road, once the drainage is done, Chapel Road, Dayton Road, Holmes Drive, Mountain Road, Old Coldbrook Road, Suckerbrook Road, all went out to bid this afternoon at lunchtime, with projects hope to be completed on or before 10:15. With that, I'll open it up for questions.
Questions for the town manager from the board?
I just have a comment on the chip sealing.
Yep.
It is gonna rain on Wednesday, a little bit. So Suckerbrook, if it's upper Suckerbrook, well, all of Suckerbrook goes down to the lake. So, and then Taylor Brook also has the brook that goes down into the lake. So depending on, you know, if the chip sealing is all week, if they could wait until after the possibility of rain on Wednesday.
Selectman Perez, it was Suckerbrook, and you mentioned one other.
Taylor.
Taylor Brook.
Yeah, because, I mean, I don't watch the weather that closely, but.
If it's a light rain, it'll actually help
Yeah.
the chip seal, but if it's a heavy rain, it will not. That would be bad.
So there's, well, because I've been painting the deck, so I've been watching it. So, so I'm a product of the early '60s when things were done on the road and then they washed into the lake and it was a disaster, so. So it's just better to try to do it when it's no chance of it.
See what happens when you watch the weather. I think it was Sunday, came in and we put the game plan together, and now the forecast changed. But I'm glad that's,
I mean, I don't
immediately agree with
know, I don't
you.
know how heavy it's gonna be. It says 35% chance of rain. I mean, I'm sure once the stuff's down, it keeps the dust down, and that's good, but if there's a hard rain and, you know, Suckerbrook goes like this.
It's now saying slight chance of a rain shower, 24%.
It's
Well,
the
anyway, just watch it.
It's the heavy rain that's running water that causes the problem. It
Right.
washes the stone off the oil, and then the cars pick it up with their tires and they peel it off the road.
Alright.
So, but a light rain is good. It actually helps it cure quicker.
Well, it helps that, but I'm
Right.
more worried
As long
about-
as the stone doesn't.
I'm
We got
worried
enough
about the
roads, we can look
downhill.
at Thursday to do those.
Because I won't, now that I know there's oil there,
Paul, he's doing all of South Road? Or is he doing the section you talked about from Winchester
Section of
Center?
it, yeah, a section of that,
To-
not
to-
all, yep,
Okay,
yep. If you want
to the
exact,
cemetery.
I believe right to the
Yeah.
cemetery, I can get exact,
No, I was just
Okay.
curious, because the other half's a waste of chips.
I got, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you have an opportunity, take a look. We did switch up the bid package. I think you'll find it is a very professional way we sent this out. If you're looking for the roads and the amount of feet, go towards the end of the bid package. You'll see that we've made it very easy for contractors to bid on this, and it includes flagmen, everything like that. So we've broken it down to make it very simple for these contractors to bid on these projects.
So the first thing I want to say is just make sure everybody's aware, the chip seal will most likely be full entire roads. And then when it comes to the paving, that's the bonding, and that's only sections of these roads. So if people, I want people to understand, because a lot of people don't understand, when you say your road's gonna be paved, your road's not gonna be paved in entirety. It's only sections of the road. So just so you know that, going in.
And I'll
Because
just,
the chip seal is not bond money, the chip seal was paving money that we put in to the budget. The paving actually is bond money, so that is not gonna be complete entire roads.
and any resident could click on our website and go to the RFP and bid, and they can actually pull up the bid package and see exactly which part of the road is going out to bid to be done.
Then my second question, going back to Bridge Street, how much of the grant that has been spent to date?
Great question. I had asked that to the team. We're trying to get a final number on that. I do not have that yet, but that was a question that I had asked. I can tell you that the original $100,000, excuse me, that we received from the state of Connecticut, that has been fully exhausted. That was to study it.
Engineering, yeah.
For the, no, to study the intersection.
Okay, study.
Then rough estimate, maybe about another $100,000 on engineering to do that blueprint plan that you all saw, for the last couple of months.
So I mean, $600,000 should get us a lot of stuff done in that intersection, but we have to pay attention on how we approach this from now on. If we lost $200,000 already, you don't want to get an engineer involved and lose another $100,000 to fix the problem that's over there. We have a bad water issue on Bridge Street that is going to eat up quite a bit of money. It needs to be repaved. There needs to be crosswalks, sidewalks. That stuff adds up. So we need to have that in mind when we go there.
Just a slight correction, just so everyone's clear. We got $100,000 and then $829,000. So roughly, the first $100,000, okay, so roughly you spent $200, but the first $100 was just to study.
We're safe.
So you take the $829, it's not $629, it's $729. I just wanted to clear that
I
up
like
a little
that better.
bit. Yeah, so
Because that gives
$100,000
more-
more, but we have $729.
And my last question, is there an end date for that grant that has to be done by?
We are looking into that as well and calling the state of Connecticut. I do not have an answer at this time, but all questions that
Those are
came up
important.
on Thursday, we met after and then again on Friday, but all things that, and I haven't had a chance Mondays, as everybody knows, a little bit craziness goes on, but we're gonna meet again on, all on our radar. So I don't wanna turn back one penny.
No.
Linda, did you have something?
Well, yeah, the end date was my question.
It's a concern.
Yeah, we don't wanna lose that.
Other questions?
I know it didn't come up on your report, Paul, but how's Eversource doing out here with this gas line?
Doing well. You know, to be honest with you, they haven't stopped into the office this past week. Usually they only stop in when there is an issue. So they're moving feverishly around, and that project, again, is still on track to finish up middle of October. So we're halfway, we're a month away, and we did it. You know, we got through it.
And then I'll just jump back to Bridge Street in case anybody didn't understand that this grant was to make that intersection pedestrian friendly, so there has to be crosswalks in it. I was at that meeting, and the water issue's been going on for quite some time, and we could spend that $800,000 just chasing it up the hill. So that's a priority that came up on that meeting, and to try to figure out what's the best way for that intersection, because it's kind of messed up. They said something, the train I know came through, and then it came on to Willow, but somebody said there was 2 tracks that came on each side of it. I'm not really too sure. Maybe some of the guys that were maybe around back then remember the train, but that's what, it's made it really tough, because there's a lot of roads all coming together, and that's where it's really tough. So don't be surprised if it gets choked down a little bit, because you're almost gonna have to choke it down and make it more walking friendly and traffic friendly especially. That's, I think, the biggest thing that we heard at that meeting was the traffic, because think about it, if it's one way, someone was right there, they have to go all the way around just to come down to the intersection, like 50 feet. So that's why it's gonna go both ways, up and down the hill. So it was quite an interesting meeting. There was more people at that meeting than there is here tonight, so it was lively, is putting it mildly.
Or angrier people.
Or angrier people.
They were passionate. They were angry. They were passionate.
Passionate.
Any other questions for the town manager? Seeing none, moving on to item number 7, Finance Director's Report.
We have our finance director here, Anne Marie.
Just knocked me out there. Good evening. I'm going to go over the results for fiscal year 2026 through August 31st of 2025. We are 2 months into the year, which is about 17% of the fiscal year. Current property tax revenue year to date is $15,902,647. That's 54.48% of this year's budget. That is in comparison to $10,514,173 for the same period last year, which was 38.45%. Do recall last year that the tax bills went out later than they did this year, so that's, I think, why you're seeing such a huge differential between this year's collection rate right now versus last year. Past due taxes year to date, $116,244. That's 33.21% of this year's budget. That is in comparison to $72,692, which is 12.12% last year. Total year-to-date revenue, $16,576,528, which is 40.41% of budget. That is in comparison to $11,004,676, which was 26.97% last year. Total year-to-date expenditures with encumbrances are a little over $8 million, $8,040,809, which is 19.6% of the budget. That is in comparison to $7,654,802, which is 15.76% of budget. Municipal aid received in the month of August. We received another reimbursement for the Case Avenue Bridge grant of $1,463,833, and we received our first half of our town aid grant of $197,041. Cash flow at the end of August, almost $31 million, $30,841,335. Keep in mind that does include the bond money that we just went out and drew. Of that, $20,714,000 and change is invested. A little over $456,000 in the Northwest Community Bank sweep, $2,578,000 in state investment fund, and $17,680,000 in Northwest Community Bank money market. Our August 2025 capital expenditures, $59,504 towards the annual police vehicle replacement. Sorry, can't speak. $12,863 for the SCBA fire replacements. $6,400 towards the public works facility upgrade. $3,520 towards the Bridge Street intersection. $13,454 for annual roadway maintenance, and $4,600 for the senior center repairs and upgrades. Questions?
Yeah, I have a quick one on the, when we get the bond money, do we anticipate the income on investments to go up over the next few months?
It should, while that money is sitting, yes. We've got money yet, right.
Because if interest rates get cut, that'll also cut into that, right, a little bit?
Yeah.
Theoretically?
Yeah, yeah.
But
But
the
that money is sitting invested now,
Yeah,
yes.
because it replaced the savings account that was borrowed to do the projects, right? That's what's best.
Other questions from the board?
What's the anticipation in spending of capital this year? Is it to spend what we put in, or is it gonna be some of the money that from last year, the year before, do you know? You know, because we had that one year where the capital, we spent a lot of capital money, so it looked like we spent more than we were supposed to, but.
Well,
Yeah,
we're replenishing from the bond, you're replenishing
Yeah.
what we were fronting.
Yeah.
And then if you recall, that big sheet that I had brought to you when we talked about how much money we should be bonding for.
Yep.
Give me 1 minute because I need to unfreeze my panes here so I can get to it. So for 2000, how we came to the $8 million.
It wasn't just, I wasn't talking about just the bond money, I was talking about other capital money that we put in the past couple of years for various things.
That I don't know, what the anticipated of how much we're gonna spend, I mean, I would probably say, I guess Jim's thought would be he'd like to spend all of the money that is,
Yeah,
the
it's-
budget money that was approved for this fiscal year.
Yeah.
Next meeting, I should be able to give you guys an update on the capitals through the end of September. I'll give you a better picture of where we are, all of the years together, where we are
Yeah, 'cause
spent
it-
versus
Yeah, and
budget.
it's not just his projects, it's
Correct,
a few others.
correct.
And then, the other thing too is, you brought us a spreadsheet on the bond when you wanted us to go out and get the other $8 million on the, to replenish our savings account. However, there still seems to be, and I talked to Paul about this a little bit, there still seems to be some general public, like not understanding where the bond money went. So there are some people making up some stories, like they always do.
Right.
So I was wondering if next time you come back with the capitals, if you can come back with like where the bond money has gone, how much of it has gone out. 'Cause you had a spreadsheet for us that
Yes.
showed the updates.
Yes.
So if you just update that, especially with the plans that are supposed to be, getting a few of those
So
things.
basically, where are we spent so far on the bond project
Right.
money, versus what we've drawn down for bond project money is
Yeah,
probably.
and like what's left, and then
Right.
also if you could put with that the scope of the bond, the original scope of the bond, because the bond was for specific roads.
But
right?
you want all the specific roads, cause I don't have all that detail for the
Yeah,
specific roads.
I think it would be, I think it's important to put a bond, the bond picture out there, because as people make up stories, because they like to make up stories,
Really?
So.
Well, there's,
So I can work with
I've
Jim,
seen,
yeah.
I've seen comments where there's some accusations about some things
Mhm.
that are not appropriate. And I think the more we can have a clearer, you know, and it may not just be with you, it may have to be with more.
Well, and I think that the schedule that we looked at in March that I had presented is probably a good schedule to update, and that will take updating with Jim to look at all the projects that are, you know, in process or planned. And I had, if you recall, I had kind of segregated them out of things that were in process, things that were being planned for 2026, things that were 2027 and beyond. Yeah, I can certainly get with Jim and try to update that schedule. You know, I'm not sure if that's a schedule you wanna put out there on the website that.
Well, I wanna address a lot which was just said, and I think that's an excellent idea, because sometimes I do hear the stories, but while we put this together, I want residents to know that if you go onto the town's website and you type in roadway infrastructure, I think it's roadway infrastructure, the town at the time had put, please don't quote me, 18 one or two page sell sheets of each of the projects that were going to be part of the bond. I'm gonna take all that and put it together. So if there's any resident that's wondering what was part of the bond, the town did an excellent job when they put together this bond. And they had 18, you know, sell sheets, I'll call them. They're literally one or two pagers that roughly listed the amount of it and what the project contained. So they're on the website.
Can we do an update of those?
We can do that, yeah.
Well,
And
what we
then
really
sort of
need is
couple
just a
that
one
with-
page.
You want a one pager? Yeah.
This is
Right.
where the roads that were supposed to be
You want a one
made.
pager?
This is what's already been spent.
Yep.
Right, this is what's going to be spent.
Yep.
So like South Road had engineering and some drainage, so did Newfield, so did Marshall Street, so did a couple others that
And we
were
have
listed
a
there.
lot
And
of
just
that
put it
already.
there, you know, and you had that in the spreadsheet for us, but I didn't go through my mounds of paper to
Yeah.
find it, but now that you're
I
here.
can certainly put that out, update it with,
Yeah, current.
current information, and then.
Just so they know the
And then have
money's-
Jim and I can go through it and review project status and anticipated completion dates, et cetera. I mean, I can put that out to Jim now to see if he can get a head start on that, and then when September is done, if September is a good date, or if you want August date, then I can,
No, I mean,
September obviously is
September,
easier,
I think,
right?
I agree with you, September's a
then-
good day. It's just to show that the money's actually going to those projects.
Yeah.
And it hasn't gone anywhere else, or,
Yep.
you know, because, you know, like they started it, it's just good information for the public to see that it went there.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Well, the reason for my comment was because, you know, it's gonna take us a little bit of time, not a lot of time, to put together the one page that talks about the 18 pages, but if there's any resident that doesn't wanna wait for the one pager, the information of all of the projects
It
in the
won't
bond
be,
are out
I
there.
mean, because I have such a big detailed schedule of it already, it won't be hard to put together a one page by just compressing all of the columns together and, you know, budget to date and then future
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It might not be a one-page portrait, it might be a
No,
one-page
that's fine.
landscape.
I'm just saying, it just has
Yeah.
to be something that
Is
the
simple.
public can understand, that the money's been going the right places, that there has been progress on these things. Because you would think that nothing happened.
Absolutely, we can get that done.
Right.
Anything else?
Other questions?
Your economic development people left, I appreciate the fact that they threw in one of my hometown guys that I grew up with, Bobby Brown.
Oh,
I was like, wait a minute, I know him. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Anne Marie.
she's not going anywhere. She'll be back up in a
I'll
little.
be back.
boy.
She'll be back. Oh, no, that's not, that's boards and commissions.
Moving on to item number 8, correspondence. Does anyone have anything? Item 9, boards and commissions.
So, I reached out to Janet Perry, 2 phone calls and an email, have not heard anything, back from her as of yet. Whether she's still interested, I got no response yet, so we'll, wait till the next meeting, see if I get a response by then. I emailed her and left her a voicemail and tried another phone call. No response yet, so. Oh,
Ben Davis, Winchester Housing Authority, member, resident representative, term end date 4/2030. Appointment by other appointing authorities.
Yeah, it's more for informational. The board does not need to take any action on that, correct?
Right.
No, I think we
I
have to
think you-
appoint. I think we should
Do
have.
we appoint?
Well, our chairman is here.
I think
Mr.
we
Mayor.
should, I mean, based on the state statute, we as the housing authority can select anyone.
Can you come up, because the audience, I apologize.
And it does say right on the sheet, the Board of Selectmen to vote on housing authority appointment.
Right.
I brought this to the Board of Selectmen because the residents, previous person who was a representative there, her term was up last April. And residents did finally hold an election. This person, the highest vote getter, that was without other issues, violations, whatever. So we've certified it, we counted the ballots, the housing authority did, and I'm just bringing it to you and making you aware of it.
So you did that, looks like 8/28?
Yes,
In August, okay.
yes, that's how the ballots were counted.
So do you want us to approve it,
I
or
would,
endorse it,
would
or?
request that you approve it, that way there it's.
On record?
It's on record, same as all the rest of the commissioners that are on it, and they're for a 5-year term.
Okay.
But that's why I wanted to make sure you had all the background information on it and everything.
So I would make a motion to approve the Winchester Housing Authority's election of Ben Davis as their member representative with a term to expire on April 2030.
Second. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Troy. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor? Unanimous?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief.
Before Pete leaves, I'm sure you've all heard little bits and pieces, with the Housing Authority, but I just wanted to let you know how good a job he's been doing over there with taking care of all the issues and the new director, et cetera. And this is like one of those pieces that was hanging out there for a while, that he's now getting everything in order as the chairman.
This was something that should have been done back in January, February.
But he's been doing a great job over there, so.
I became chairman in mid-April, and we now have a new executive director who's been there 8-9 weeks.
And policies are all updated.
Doing a bang-up job, working like that.
So with Pete at the helm, I have confidence that the housing authority is going to be in good shape going forward. There's still some bumps in the road that he
We've
has
got
to
some
smooth out.
bumps and some issues.
Nothing's easy.
We're looking for funding from HUD, and they've taken away some funding from us for capital projects. And
Thank you, Pete, for your hard
long
work.
distance, we've been working on that. We spent an hour Zoom meeting last Friday with HUD in Washington and Hartford, and yeah, about that far, but
So he's getting all the pieces put back
we will work
together.
on it, so.
One of the things, and I'll just dovetail on it, one of the things that impressed, the HUD in Washington was that, I jumped on the call and advocated for our housing authority, and they were, who are you? They were simply blown away. But their new executive director, Betsy, and I have a wonderful relationship, and if you haven't had a chance to meet Betsy, I was warned by a few of the interviewers that she's the female version of me, the amount of energy she has. She does. She has a lot of energy. She's doing a wonderful job, and we have a great blossoming relationship as the town, works with the housing authority. Because ultimately, anyone that's living in the housing authority, they're our residents. And I said that to Washington, and that's why I got on the call, and they were blown away. But they're Winchester residents, and I'm going to fight for them, and I'm going to work for them, and as our chairman does, and the board does. So we had a great call, and I think we have a great relationship with the housing authority.
Much appreciated all of Paul's help and town hall staff help. They've been a great assistance to us through all this process. So it's been a learning curve, but we're getting there. So we'll keep pursuing it.
We appreciate all that free time you have between planning and zoning and the
You
fire
haven't got-
department.
You haven't got the bill
and
yet.
this, that.
You haven't got the bill yet, okay. It's coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no unfinished business. Moving on to item 11, new business, 25-04, resolution regarding the appointment of an acting tax collector per state statute, Connecticut General Practice 12-137.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If you haven't seen, our current tax collector is having a baby. She will be due sometime in the middle of October. You know, when things happen, they start filtering in my brain. Started to look, okay, what goes on if your current tax collector does have to go on leave? Come to find out, there is a general statute, 12-137, that states that the appointing authority, which is obviously the Board of Selectmen, has to appoint an acting tax collector to perform the duties of the office during a period of absence or vacancy. So Ashley is going to go out on maternity leave. You know, I do want to invoke, you know, General Statute 12-137, have the board officially appoint Pam Comby as the acting tax collector in the absence of Ashley out on maternity leave.
I move that we accept resolution number 25-04 that would appoint Pam Columbia as temporary acting tax collector effective the first day, that the current tax collector, Ashley Kelsey, goes on temporary leave in 2025.
Second. All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Discussion?
Yeah, I'm wondering, okay, number 3, the compensation. What will Pam, who makes less than the tax collector, will she be compensated for this?
She will, per
She
her
will.
supervisor's union contract. After
Okay.
2 weeks, if she assumes the duties of the person above her, she would receive the pay of the tax collector, and that's per union contract.
Okay, and that's number 3, the acting tax compensated in accordance with the policies of the practices of the town of Winchester. Okay. Okay. So I guess the second question is, so will there be a replacement for Pam?
Yes, sir.
When-
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, there will. A familiar face that you're all probably familiar with, but Kelsey's mother, Janice, will be coming in as the, what did I say?
Kelsey.
Oh, sorry. Ashley's mother will be coming in as a temporary replacement to be an assistant collector working 20 hours a week to help in that office.
Other questions? No other questions? All in favor? Unanimous? Thank you.
Congratulations to Chris and Ashley.
Moving on to item B, 25-31, refunds as recommended by the Collector of Revenues.
You'll see the attached refunds recommended by both the tax collector and soon-to-be acting tax collector. Training has been commencing over the last couple of weeks to make sure that Pam has all of the tools and knowledge for when Ashley did go out, but it is an amount of $3,649.67.
I move that the Board of Selectmen authorize the refunds recommended by the Collector of Revenue in the amount of $3,649.67.
Second.
Thank you, Troy. Thank you. Who are you giving the second to? Paul. Thank you, Paul. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, all in favor? Unanimous? 25-32, proposed 24-25 year-end line item transfers by the Director of Finance.
Hey, Marie, do you want to come up? Because they're not going to be able to hear you on the side if there are questions. So this is the end of the year, obviously right before the auditors come in. We're just balancing departments. You can see a total amount of $158,751 to balance all the lines, employee benefits, town manager, employee benefits, town manager, highways, employee benefit. Where it's coming from and where it's going to is accounting, tax collector, legal fees, town hall building, EDC for $1. You see the sheet attached, but this is just to make sure all of the different department heads all balance out at 0.
Do we have a motion?
Does your sheet have the hashtags at the
So I
bottom
move
or
that
not?
we do the balance transfer in total of $158,751 in accordance with sections 914 and 915 as presented to us.
I'll second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Do we have discussion?
Now, these that, will there be any more after this?
Hopefully, no, there will not be, but we are still doing year-end adjustments. So there may be one or two if we have an adjustment to a department that sends it into a negative. But this should be the majority of them. We closed out most of the open purchase orders for the end of the year and had a few stragglers. Most of those got closed today. Have a couple system issues, and the rest of them, I think I had 3 purchase orders, and I think 2 of them will be closed in this week, in this check run that I did today.
We delayed it a little bit because we just wanted to give you all one. We think this is the end, but as Anne already stated, there may be that, and we find it as we're combing through, but we think we got them all this time.
Henry, what's the electricity one? I know we have some of that.
That is simply the line item, so the electricity for the town hall building, and then you'll see for the street lighting, we were over budget on those. So those were based on, obviously, electricity projections on where we were gonna come in, and those were a little bit off of the mark in the.
Are we getting like less money on the?
No, these are not.
Oh, that's not included
Well,
in that?
on the, potentially on the street lighting one, could have been because we maxed out our solar credits last year. So that is one of the solar credit accounts.
Okay.
So we did max out last August, I believe, so we were not getting any credits from August through January. I could tell you if I go to my computer, but for several months, we were not getting any credits to offset the electricity costs. So,
Okay, that's what I was asking.
yeah, that might be part of why it was a little, but we had factored that into the budget. We thought we had factored in, but I think the costs just came in a little bit higher than where Tom had done.
Everybody.
Than Tom had done the projections for, so I'll blame it on Tom.
Nobody
He's
can tell
not,
what
Tom's
that-
not here, so I'll just blame it on him.
But doesn't that line item, the street lighting always run over? I mean, every year I think it always runs over because you can't really predict.
It's very, I think all of them are difficult to predict unless you know.
Because where we pay like $11 a light or
And
something like
and
that.
Tom does a detail, we do on a monthly basis, we track kilowatt hours, like delivery charges, supply charges, we track it down to the minutia of all of the bills to try to get a better sense when we come to the budget of what our usage is, particularly when we locked in, I think, on the newer rates, I think when we,
Did the town get the public benefits section added to their bill like residents do?
It does get the public benefit section added.
So that had to
probably what
be,
it is.
that had to be enormous.
probably.
One of the days, one of the day of the month is when all of the Eversource bills come in and Don has to.
Yeah, the
put them
volume
on.
of Eversource bills that we
It's
receive, it's,
massive.
I wish they
Every
could
meter.
somehow figure out how to just give us one big bill with sub-accounts, but we probably get 40-plus
I've never seen so many
Eversource
of
bills.
I mean, I can only imagine with the size of the public benefit portion of the bill that the public got. I'm surprised that the town got it as well, but it had to be enormous.
We do, but keep in mind, I mean, we're mindful. We are during the day, so our lights are typically off at night. So we're not we are a heavy user, but not as much as you would.
Well, but you have streetlights and you have all the other things.
Well,
involved.
then that's where the
Sewer-
streetlights go
Sewer
in,
and water
so.
take a
Sewer,
huge
water,
chunk of
different,
the
yeah.
sewer plant.
Yeah.
It's a 24/7
It's
operation.
24/7, so they're, but they also get a large credit back too when we're getting the solar credits too, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, street lighting, we can't predict because some of them stay on longer than they're supposed to, so.
Just turn them all off and just.
Be a little cheaper this
Rolling
year because we
blackouts.
lost that one pole right in front of town hall.
Yeah, that's a deduction.
So we have a motion, a second, all in favor? Unanimous? Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item D, discussion on the proposed new line item transfers form.
Okay, catch up real quick. In your packet, you'll see a draft of what three of us sat down and came up with. It looks like this. What we're looking to do is to streamline the process, a little less writing of pieces of paper to come before you. I'll start at the top. It's action step. What that would be the fiscal year, and then a dash, and then whichever number. So you would typically start at 01, and then you go 02, 03, 04, 05. We would mark off if it was an interdepartmental based on the town charter, when you can do it, any time of the year, and then obviously you have the interdepartmental after the April 1st one. You would still list the transfer from, the account number, the account name, and then the amount and what it would be transferring into. We would state the reason, obviously, why we were looking to do the transfer. All of the signatures would be down below. Our thought, and we've looked at other towns, of what they do, is when it came before the Board of Selectmen, the motion could be as simple as, I approve action step or transfer 26-01. It would then be seconded. It would then, obviously, discussion, and then a vote would be taken. In the meeting minutes, we would state that select person, so-and-so made the motion, it was seconded by this select person, the vote, and then we would actually include this transfer request in the minutes, referencing, transfer 26-01, so we'd have a clear record of the select group approving the transfer, and then obviously including this in the minutes as well. That lists all the account numbers, the account names, and the dollar amount. Open it up for comments.
So this is going to hopefully relieve Terry of some of the paperwork.
Of any of her paperwork, basically.
That we talked about this in one of our meetings when we were reading them all off, and we don't have to say 500 times
correct.
anymore.
You won't have to read off any of the numbers. You would just reference you would reference the action step, and then the whole transfer form. And that also eliminates Glenn from having to repeat all of those account numbers and get all of those account numbers right in the minutes too.
I think we talked about wanting to streamline this and reducing the amount of paperwork and workload, particularly on Terry and everybody involved in it. So, and for those of us that read the motions, I think 2601 is much easier than 000-4. So, looks good.
Do you need a motion on this to accept it, or?
We wouldn't, because it's not really an action step. We wanted your thoughts, and if the board was in agreement, we would start at our next meeting with this transfer form if there were no changes.
Any comments from the board?
Anybody not like it?
As long as it makes work easier for everybody, and we don't have to do so many zeros and not so much confusion, and streamlines it, I'm good with it.
Looks good.
We can try it. Nothing's set in stone. We can always, if it doesn't.
I mean, if Paul really wants to read zeros, we'll bring back the old one.
bring back the zeros.
Anytime you'd like.
Thank you. Just put them in color, though. Okay.
We're gonna color code them all.
Thank you.
Yes, we would have that on there. We want to be clear of, what box we're checking, because any time of the year and any after, because again, this is going in the record. So, everybody can follow why we did what we did.
I mean, and if you needed to, if you really wanted to, we could make the reverse side of the form the sections of the charter, if you really needed that in there.
As long as the charter numbers are listed on there, I think we're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll start using it and see what y'all think.
Moving on to item number 12, citizens' comments. The Board of Selectmen welcomes public comments. Speakers be limited to 3 minutes and may speak once. Does anyone wish to speak? Anyone at all? Moving on to item number 13, executive session. Discussions regarding selection of a site or the lease, sale, or purchase of real estate. At Connecticut General Statutes 1-206D, and also in regards to 52 White Street, 19 Hill Street, 48 Bridge Street, taking with us Town Manager Harrington, Jeremy DeCarly, Jeff Green, and Attorney Brian McCann will be calling in.
And I'll note that the attorney, Jeremy, and Jeff will only be with us on the first item, and then they'll be excused, and it will just be us.
We have a motion to go into executive.
Second.
All in favor? And it is 8:11.
Lord have mercy.
We are back from executive session at 9:18 PM. Item 14, possible action on executive session matters.
Motion that we enter into contract on 19 Hill Street and move to a town meeting on the sale of 19 Hill Street
Second. On November 3rd.
on November 3rd. Thank you.
At
7:15.
At 7:15 PM in the Francis Hicks Room at Town Hall.
We have the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
I move that we moved into contract on 48 Bridge Street to move to town meeting on November 3rd at 7:15 in the Francis Hicks Room of Town Hall.
That's it.
That's
Second.
it.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous?
And then we move that we do an 824 referral on 52 White Street to planning and zoning for possible sale.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous? Item 15, Selectmen's comments and reports. Anyone have anything?
So a week ago, I had the opportunity to ride along with one of our police officers on patrol. I got a chance to ride with Officer Dan Petroface, and it was quite an interesting experience. I thoroughly enjoyed it and got to see what I would consider very thoughtful and caring interaction with residents by Officer Dan, as he likes to go by. It was a quiet night on a Monday, so we didn't get to do too many of calls, but again, there was a few things that we did do, or I did get to watch him do, and the thoughtfulness and the caring and the way he approached it was really tremendous. So I want to say thank you to Officer Dan for letting me tag along, and to the chief for also allowing me to do that. It was a great experience, and I really appreciate what the men and women of our police department do every single day for us.
Anyone else?
Just
To go on to Paul's, we get the little report from the police department, I know, and think, it'd be nice to maybe actually, one meeting a month, even read through that. The stuff that happened this month, I don't know if we're gonna get a chance to read that, but there were some incredible actions that the police department took this past month. Saved an infant.
Yeah.
That really should.
Yep.
warrant a little.
Well, I mean, listen, we can certainly highlight the things that we get from them, because there are some things that are.
Yeah, there's some, I couldn't believe that report, that's fantastic stuff, so.
Yep.
I read
Chief
some
will be
stuff-
our next meeting.
I read some stuff from the meeting.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah, because you said something about it. So I was reading it. Good follow-up.
I think we should keep doing that.
Yeah, agreed.
We should follow Candy's lead.
Yeah, thank you.
on that.
Fall Foliage Festival, are you gonna mention that?
Yep.
Okay, you got it.
Anyone else?
Park and Recs, trunk or treat is coming up as well.
October 25th.
So they're always looking for, candy donations, volunteers to bring down a vehicle.
Thought about donating a bag from my supply.
You're
probably-
probably left. All right, so, set it.
That's it.
So just a couple of things, as Candy mentioned, September 25th, it's Saturday. A week from Saturday is the Fall Foliage Festival on Main Street. Half of Main Street will be closed to traffic, so keep that in mind, although it's been closed to traffic for quite some time now. So there'll be lots of vendors, crafts, food trucks, things like that there. The Winchester Youth Service Bureau will be having their fundraiser in October. You can get more information through the YMCA website or the Winchester Youth Service Bureau on that. And lastly, last week, we passed our 24th anniversary of September 11th. So just keep that in mind, that on September 12th, 2001, we were a lot more united than we are today. And, we need to do better to get back to one nation that's united, and realize the things that keep us together are much closer than the things that keep us apart politically. With that,
Motion to adjourn.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Good night.
Hey, everybody.
That's the kids watching us on YouTube. Was your mic on when here?
Yeah, he just turned it off. Yeah, he just turned it off.
I just turned it off.